What's up, comic book community? My name is Joe, and you're watching 360 Comics. We are back with part 2 of an insane collection, what I consider to be the best collection that I have ever purchased. In the first video, we looked at a bunch of Marvel titles. Today, we are doing all DC. This guy primarily collected Marvel, but there was plenty of good DC stuff in there too, so we're going to put all that in the video today. Stay tuned. If you're new to the channel or have not yet decided to subscribe, now is a great time to do so because we are just a few subscribers away from hitting 3,000, at which point we'll be giving away this book right here, Incredible Hulk 449, the first appearance of the Thunderbolts. I think we're like less than 10 away at this point, so make sure you do that ASAP. Like this video and leave a comment on it for an entry. Check out our other videos, like them and leave comments on them for additional entries. And go follow over on Instagram. We're only a couple followers away as well, again less than 10 from hitting 9,000 followers there, at which point we're giving away this book, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends #1, first appearance of Firestar. So make sure you enter those soon, and good luck. As mentioned, this collector definitely favored Marvel, but that didn't stop him from picking up some really awesome DC comics, ranging as far back as the early days of the Silver Age and going up all the way into the 2000s. We're going to go through the best of the best DC stuff, but first, let's roll some clips of me going through these boxes when I first got them home. Way to start this off, and then we're immediately jump into some Silver Age, which I definitely don't mind that. World's Finest number 154. World's Finest 173. You got some Batman. Can't go wrong with that. Look at this sticker. Hello, my name is 4th Silver Age appearance of Catwoman. That's a great cover. Catwoman and Batgirl. Awesome stuff. World's Finest 166. If any of these are keys that I'm missing, feel free to shout it out. World's Finest 200. Put it in the chat, in the comments rather. 203 with Aquaman. You got 12-cent Superboy here. Early 12-cent when the cent symbol was larger. Issue 93, so double digits there. Then we're jumping up to a modern book, but looks like it is signed by multiple people. Dan Jurgens, Rubenstein, Breeding. I'm not sure who the fourth one is, but it's got a COA on it, so we can check that. Oh, yeah, it looks... Ooh. Louise Simonson. Very, very cool. The wedding issue. Next, number 7. Those might have just been randomly thrown in there, but this one's definitely a good one. Vengeance of Bane, first appearance of Bane. Ooh, AllStar Comics number 58, first appearance of Power Girl, right on the cover there on the right-hand side. The first preview of The Crow. Shazam 1, pretty cool. Bronze Age book. Oh, this is a big key. Strange Tales 205, that's a win. That's first appearance of Deadman. It looks pretty low grade, but who cares? Let me know in the comments below if you like the inclusion of me flipping through some boxes. I can continue to do that in the future if people are into it, but if you're not, I won't include it. So just let me know what you're thinking. But anyway, let's get into some of the big keys. And given we're talking about DC, you know we're going to have some Batman stuff. And here is a really great one. Batman number 655, the first cameo appearance of Damian Wayne. And this one is so sharp. This one is a 9.8 contender all day. I will probably send it in to get graded, and of course what goes with it. The very next issue, the first full appearance of Damian Wayne, issue number 2. Wow, I don't know where that came from. Issue number 656. This one equally high grade, really nice looking, and yeah, these both probably will go off and get graded, especially because Damian is going to be coming to that new DC universe we're getting. In addition to that, we've got a second copy. This one, boom, is a newsstand. I have never once seen a newsstand copy of this book. This book came out in, what, like 2007 or 8, something like that. So, you know, it's a much later newsstand than you usually see. They became pretty hard to find even in the late 90s, so this was even 10 years after that. Unfortunately, it's not super high grade. It's a mid-grade copy. I would expect high-grade newsstands to be worth a lot, but you know, this one definitely still has some value due to scarcity and the fact that it's a key as well. Then we're jumping over to some Green Lantern issue number, I think this is 24, right? Yeah, issue number 24. First appearance of Karshan the Shark. Not King Shark. Carson the Shark. Different character, also from DC. And there's just an early Green Lantern book as well. Always going to have some value, number 24. So this would have been early 1960s. Then we got some Detective Comics issue 373. I apologize. This is the second appearance of Mr. Freeze, and the first time he's called Mr. Freeze because prior to this, he was known as Mr. Zero in his first appearance, Batman 121. And yeah, this is a much more affordable book than the first appearance, so a lot of people gravitate to this one to either have as kind of a placeholder in their collection for that first appearance, or just to collect it to have it as well, given it's a second appearance and first use of that name. Then we're switching over to Adventure Comics. We got issue number 428, and this features the first appearance and origin of Black Orchid. I believe there was a Black Orchid character in the Golden Age. I'm not 100% on that. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but either way, this is the early Bronze Age first appearance and origin, and it's got a really, really cool cover. I'm not sure if this is a Neil Adams cover, and you can let me know down in the comments below, but it looks like it's done in the style of Neil Adams with that like kind of looking up vantage point. Gotta love it. Really, really cool, and just a solid key. Then we got Teen Titans, Tales of the Teen Titans rather, issue number 44. First appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing. Classic book of the 1980s. I guess this would have been probably early Copper Age. I think this is post-Crisis. Yeah, it's got to be post-Crisis. So yeah, everyone loves this book. Any DC collector is going to have it in their collections. And because it's from the 80s, it's a pretty reasonably affordable book for, such a major, major key. Then we got an interesting one. I saw this in the video before. This is Lois Lane 106. This is the controversial issue where she is put into this machine that turns her into a black woman, and she lives that experience. And I don't know what they were thinking. It's definitely a sign of the times here. But yeah, this has become a really collectible book for that reason. A lot of controversy ends up breeding collectability. Moving on now to Jonah Hex number 1. Now, this isn't his first appearance. He did first appear in, I think it's called AllStar Western is the run. I think issue number 10? Something like that. But first solo Jonah Hex, and what is better than one copy? How about, boom, 2 copies of the same book, Jonah Hex number 1. Really solid character that has really transcended Westerns. While that's where he originated, this character certainly has been part of the bigger DC continuity over the years. Then we got Teen Titans. This is a really recent book. This is from the Rebirth era, which I think started in 2016, I want to say. So this is Teen Titans number 12. This is the first appearance of, boom, the Batman Who Laughs, a character that is definitely come out as being a really, really popular character, having a skin in Fortnite, showing up in his own run, multiple other runs, and just being a real fan favorite. I've seen the character cosplayed a bunch of times as well. Just a very cool design, a very interesting take on a classic character like Batman. Then we got some more Green Lantern here. This is Green Lantern Corps number 201. This is right when they changed the title from Green Lantern to Green Lantern Corps. And this is the first appearance of Kilowog. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful copy. In fact, I was looking at the front of this book, and I was like, oh man, this is a 9/8. Then I looked at the back, and there's a small stain on the back. I'm so bummed about that because otherwise it looks so, so good. Might try some stain removal techniques because this book in a 9/8 is pretty pricey. So I got to kind of see if it is worth, taking the time to do so. Otherwise, I will just sell it raw and kind of note that stain on the back. And we got this guy right here, a pretty heavy hitter from the 90s, a fan favorite, Vengeance of Bane, number 1, first appearance of Bane, and a tougher book to get in high grade. And this is a pretty nice looking copy. It is a square bound book, so any like indentation or anything like that really can't be pressed out. So you really have to find a copy that has been kept in really nice condition for at this point just about 30 years. I think this is 93 or 94. 90 had to be 93, right? Let's take a look. See on the cover, 1993. Yep. So yeah, this is a 30-year-old book at this point. We got a really early Golden Age book, or sorry, Silver Age book right here, a 10 center. This is DC Showcase number 35. This is the second appearance of the Atom in the Silver Age, obviously a Golden Age character that was reused again, similar to the Flash and similar to Green Lantern, where it was a new character in the mantle of the Atom. And even this as the second appearance is still a pretty pricey book. Obviously an early showcase book. I think this would have been probably like 1960, 59, 60, maybe 61, but I think 1960. That is my best guess on how old this book is. So, pretty old. Bumping back up to the 80s, we got DC Comics Presents number 47. This is the first appearance of Masters of the Universe in comic books. This was, a title where they often matched up two different characters. And for this one, they have Superman, the most popular character at the time in DC Comics. Going head-to-head here with Masters of the Universe, He-Man, and I think that was a really interesting way for them to kind of promote this property that they had, licensing for during the 1980s, and, put out some runs. Eventually Marvel took it over, and then it bounced around. I think IDW had it for a little bit. I think Image had it, Masters of the Universe, but anyway, we got not just one, but two of them, and I don't think I've ever owned this book. This is not really one that I particularly want for myself. It's not one that I seek out, and I've never found it in a collection. So, it's not a book that I think I've ever owned before. But anyway, we saw this book in the beginning of the video, Batman Harley Quinn, the one-shot with this beautiful Alex Ross cover, written by Paul Dini, and the first in-continuity appearance of Harley Quinn. Prior to this, she is seen in the animated universe a bunch, but this is the first time that we're talking in-continuity, mainstream DC Universe stuff, and people love this book. Again, this is a square-bound book with a thick cover, and any little imperfection often stays there and is impossible to get out through cleaning and pressing. Fortunately, this is a beautiful copy. I now have two of these that are really super high grade, and I'm probably going to send them both off to get graded, hoping for that 9.8 for my personal collection, and, anything else will be up for grabs. Moving on to some Justice League right here. A single-digit Justice League book, issue number 3. I totally forget whose first appearances is this guy on the cover, Candor Row, something like that. Cardin Row? I forget. Anyway, I'm not much of a Justice League guy. I'm not much into the cosmic stuff like this is. But yeah, Justice League number 3. It's, a first appearance, but it's also a single-digit Justice League book from the very early 1960s. And all this stuff is obviously always collectible. People work on this run, people try to get first appearances, and people just love these old DC 10 centers from those early days of the Silver Age. Great book, great find, and a little hint at what is coming later in this video as well. Then we got New Teen Titans number 2, the first appearance of Deathstroke. In my opinion, still a undervalued book. This book is, in my opinion, still pretty cheap, despite it being, a pricey book. I just sold a 9.6 for $350, and to me that seems cheap for such an important character like Deathstroke. Obviously this was during that Teen Titans run by Perez and Wolfman that just was so popular, and this character has shown up in so many other media, film and television, video games. It surprises me that book is not worth more. Now, speaking of Teen Titans, we got their first appearance of the new Teen Titans, rather. First appearance of Cyborg, first appearance of Raven, first appearance of Starfire. This is the preview for Teen Titans issue number 1 in DC Comics Presents 26. And once again, just a really solid and really underrated book from this time. If this had a better cover, if you had the Titans displayed more prominently on the cover, this would be a much more expensive book. They are real tiny right there on the side. There's a little preview of the Teen Titans story. But yeah, that I think brings down the value of this book significantly, but still a really coveted and solid book from the early 1980s, late Bronze Age there. Then we got Green Lantern. This is when it was Green Lantern, Green Arrow, issue number 85. This is the controversial Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil drug abuse issue, and this was, telling a cautionary tale of Speedy, who is Green Arrow's sidekick, becoming addicted to drugs, and it was meant to be kind of a warning, a PSA for the kids and the teenagers and even the young adults that are reading these comics in the 1970s to stay away from those things. And not just these two creators, but also Stan Lee made a big push for that in those Spider-Man comics in the 96, 97, 98, where he ignored the Comics Code Authority, and that's really what led to this happening, because Stan Lee took that stand. Not only were Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil motivated to put that kind of story to paper, but also were able to get the approval of the Comics Code Authority for a story like this. And yeah, this has just become a really iconic book, iconic cover, and this is the nicest copy that I have ever found out in the wild. Then we got, bumping up to the 80s here, we got this guy. This has been a hot book the last few years. People hoping, begging, speculating that Lobo's going to be showing up. I think it's a no-brainer that the character will show up now that Gunn is in charge. He definitely seems like a James Gunn kind of character. But yeah, people have been talking about Jason Momoa, who is Iron Man, for some reason being this character. Who knows? Maybe it could happen. And guess what? Again, not just one, but two copies of the same big key from the 80s. Gotta love it. Then we got AllStar Comics. This is issue number 58. This is when the run resumed during the Bronze Age. And this is the first appearance of Power Girl right there. This is another character that I think will have to eventually show up as they expand the DC universe. Definitely a fan favorite, has some very popular covers, mostly due to, her being portrayed as an attractive woman. And a lot of those covers are very sought after for that reason or those reasons. Anyway, we got Forever People #1 as the next book. This is the first full appearance of Darkseid, totally a big bad of the DC universe. This will always be a key, whether they use the character or not. But I think, given that we really didn't get this character, in his fullest in any of the DC stuff that's come out over the last 10, 15 years or whatever, I think that this is a character that we will see. A lot of people are saying they should stay away from it because he's so similar to Thanos, but Thanos has run his course. He's been gone for years at this point. I think that it would be perfectly fine to do this character. And what goes with that? Boom, the first cameo appearance in Jimmy Olsen, number 134. Yep. I actually think, off the top of my head, that this cameo is more valuable than the first appearance. I'm not 100% on that, but off the top of my head, I feel like this is the book that people go for more than Forever People #1. Then we got, this is a good one. This is one that a lot of people that I know have been talking about this book as a speculation book. Strange Tales number 204, I think. This is the first appearance of Deadman. If they ever do a Justice League Dark, this would be a great character. I think this is a great James Gunn character as well. Definitely written in his style, and I think he could do some really cool stuff. And in my opinion, this cover is amazing. I love this cover. Him jumping down off the crow's nest of a ship, getting shot at and stuff, and he's like, "Yo, I'm Deadman. What's up? How's it going?" We got a couple more books now. I'm gonna show two slabs, and then I'm gonna show the best book of the DC haul. First slab, really solid one, Swamp Thing #1. Now it is mid-grade, 5.5, not super nice or anything, but this is just such a coveted book. I'm very happy to have found it. I wish, if it was a little bit higher grade, I'd probably be keeping it myself. But this is a great entry-level copy of Swamp Thing #1 to grab. Obviously, this is the book other than House of Secrets 92. This is like the next best thing for people who don't want to shell out $500, $1,000, whatever it may be for any copy really of House of Secrets, even a low grade one, multiple thousands for a higher grade one. This is the book to get. So this one will definitely be up for grabs in my claim sale at some point soon, as will this book. I don't really collect signed books, so this one is going up for grabs. This is AllStar Batman and Robin, The Boy Wonder, #1. You'll see it's a 9.8, white pages. It also has that yellow label, which means it is signed, and I love that it's signed in silver because it matches really nicely in there with Batman's costume, like the gray parts of Batman's costume. And it's actually not just signed once, not just signed twice, but triple signed. We've got Alex Sinclair, solid. We've got Jim Lee, one of the DC greats, now a higher up in the company, and legendary writer and artist Frank Miller. In my opinion, that's the best signature on here. But yeah, triple signed. Jim Lee, Sinclair, and Frank Miller. This is going to be a happy addition to someone's collection. Again, I don't collect signed stuff, so this one is definitely going up for grabs. So yeah, if you're interested in this, let me know, and yeah, we can work it out. Now, the last book of this collection, the best DC book in this collection, pretty far above the rest, actually sold it already. So let's roll this quick clip and see who picked up Justice League #1 from me. James came over and insisted on buying a couple books before I got to the video.
Yep.
These are the two he picked out. We got First Appearance of Taskmaster. Yeah, he was a little pushy, but that's okay. We love him for it. Avengers #196, First Appearance of Taskmaster, and the big one right here, Justice League of America #1. It's got a detached cover, but still a very solid Silver Age book. How you feeling, James?
#1. Good, but I'm in trouble with the wife, so I need to leave.
Get out of here.
Thanks, buddy.
See ya. Big shout out to James for always wheeling and dealing with me and being a great member of this comic book community. Yeah, I'm glad that book has a good new home, and I wasn't upset to see it go because I'm not much of a Justice League guy, but it's always better when it's going to someone who really, really will love it. Anyway, yeah, that's the DC stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up for a like. Leave a comment down below. And I've got one quick announcement before we go, and that is that I am doing another Back Deck Comic Fest end of summer one at my house in just a couple weeks on Saturday, August 26th. I am starting it early. I'm doing it at 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. The reason I'm doing it early is it's probably still going to be pretty hot late August here in the Philadelphia area. So I figured start it early when it's a little cooler in the day, and we'll move it back to the 10 to 2 slot, the normal 10 to 2 slot when we do the fall one, which I'm planning for October. But August 26th, Saturday, if you're in the Philadelphia area or within driving distance, please come out, hang out. Myself, Brixton & Company, LLC, Pope of Chillytown, Collecting Dude, and James from Mint Hunter Comics will be back as well. So, yeah, we'll have a full group and lots of stuff up for grabs. Anyway, thank you for watching. As always, turn the page, wash your hands.